5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and glow. Okay, welcome to another edition of What's Glowing On. Okay, so this was a suggestion by a couple of my subscribers, and I did have to think a little bit about tackling this because, first of all, I'm no expert. I know we have the world of YouTube right now where not only do we have the YouTube and influencers, but we also have, celebrities weighing in and celebrities being of significance when it comes to the YouTube world and with the people weighing in on topics. But I thought about the topic and I, wanted to do it some just consideration. So for the past few days, I've been delving in and doing some research, reading up, as well as watching a lot of videos in regards to the pink pill debate, as well as the hypergamy scene, which you guys know I'm in love with this concept. I am wrapping my arms and my intellects around this concept. But I'm also really just opposing and making sure that I'm not kind of jumping on a bandwagon because I've had, such an experience with my particular relationships that I am just kind of like, latching on to something else. So, we're here to talk about it. Growing the glow is not just about, getting a beat face and getting your best clothes. It is also about internalizing information and strategizing with it, right? So, we want to talk about how can we improve our lifestyles in regards to what's out there, and definitely improve our dating, scene or what have you. So why don't woke relationships work? I think number one is that it really comes down to honesty. And there is just a real dishonesty that's just present with a lot of men in that particular lifestyle. One of them is definitely comes down to, I think there's a lot of colorism. There's a lot of featureism that is not openly discussed nor embraced. So it kind of just gets dug under the, pushed to the back. And then when you figure out that, hey, you are just like, you're just susceptible to popular idea of beauty as anyone else, it kind of, hits you in a different way. I can definitely take my particular situation for consideration. That rhymed, right? And so as you guys know, I was married at 19, and married to, a brilliant guy. People always say, they always are very surprised that I don't have bad things to say about him. No, I won't. We were married at, 19 and 21 respectively. He was a brilliant guy. Definitely very, smart, very funny and all that good stuff. I just think that probably, what I begin to see or understand or appreciate that there were like little ways that there were little things that he was not embracing in his youth that I think in his adulthood, he just kind of thought that they would kind of go away. And I think one of those definitely was being interested in marrying. A lot of times men will marry women like their mother. And I definitely was not like, his mom in regards to look, in regards to shape, in regards to, colors and features. And, he's a very light-skinned guy. His mother is very light-skinned as well, and even lighter than him. And, she had naturally long hair. As you guys see, I did not. But, when we first started dating, it was just, I used to wear really long weaves. And because that was the way that we met, that was the way he always wanted me to be. And it's kind of like as I begin to grow and to embrace my natural self that wasn't so much appreciated. So that was definitely number one. And I think that that was definitely the case in our situation. Number two, I think a lot of woke relationships don't work is because you're expecting something kind of fantastical to happen with these two people to have these similar ideals, but it does not necessarily, progress that way. And a lot of times, a lot of men involved in the woke realm, a lot of woke people, not just woke men, but woke people in general, they do not, God is not the centerpiece of that foundation. Whether it is a worship of ancestors or worships of deities or worship of other things, there's just not, God is usually not that. And I'm not saying that all relationships that are founded with Jesus Christ or God being the centerpiece also are, that's just foolproof and those relationships last. I'm just saying that when you have different ideas coming about where you're getting your sources of strength from, most of the time the woman and the man are not agreeing on even what that source is. And so that creates also some tension, whether immediately or moving down the line. And number three, the reason why I think most woke relationships don't last is because I don't think that there are any real honest goals set when it's a woke relationship. Because most of the time in those woke relationships, the goal is not to get married. The goal is, they say things like we're going to elevate together and that sort of thing, but they don't put a real kind of bigger picture in front of the relationship. I think the reason why my marriage lasted as long as it did was because we both came from traditional relationships in regards to our parents. As what I've learned when I grew and where we grew in the marriage, as well as I got older and grew, a lot of woke relationships, they don't have they don't have like couples, or they don't have an idea of what a successful woke relationship looks like, right? A lot of things get real funny in a lot of those relationships, whether polygamy is thrown into the mix or whether, arranged marriages and things like that just gets thrown into, or a lot gets thrown into the mix, but they don't have a real solid, okay, this is what success looks like as far as a woke relationship. So it does take a network. It takes growing it. I think a lot of us are not patient when we start out in it. Like I said, when I was married, I was 19. My ex-husband was 21. We were married for 13 years, together for 15 years. So are there successful examples? Absolutely. But is it the norm and success with those? No. And most of the time, those woke relationships do just kind of wound up with children, unfortunately created out of wedlock, because a lot of times, like I said, those woke unions, there's no jumping the broom. There's no real specific structuring of a relationship there. And there's no real view of a success story. So those are, my thoughts. If you disagree, or you agree, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And who knows, you might be the winner of our Cash App giveaway. All right, we got 98 more days. Until then, you guys know what to do. Glow up.